first step was dedicated finding the right problem for our project. In a brainstorming session, we discussed different experiences as a BTH student in Karlskrona. One of the most promising ones were how to provide an affordable, fast opportunity to eat at lunchtime and how to reduce the amount of waste flying around at BTH. After doing a voting altogether, we decided finally on how can we improve the accommodation situation for students in Karlskrona. The second step was all about the need finding. To generate a broad overview of the housing crisis, we created a map showing the stakeholders involved. On the one hand, we have the landlords and the big housing companies who own most of the accommodations for students. On the other hand, there are students searching for one. On the following days, we went out to do the field research. One of our most promising interview partners were the Student Union, responsible people at BTH, Victoria Park and Karlskronahem. Last but not least, we asked citizens on the streets of Karlskrona as well as foreign and local students from BTH to tell us stories about the life here, about the process and problems of finding an accommodation. This step was all about understanding the problem space. To summarize the findings, we used the how might we questions. For each need and each problem found in the interviews, we created a post-it. Afterwards, we used the clustering to explore the dimensions of the problem space. Should we focus on the students, improving the process of finding an accommodation? Or should we focus on the landlords, convincing more of them to offer a room for rent? With the knowledge of the interviews, we were able to create the diagram, showing the single steps it takes for a landlord to find a proper tenant. We took the most interesting how might we question and integrated it into the diagram. The fourth step was about coming up with a lot of creative ideas on how might we make it more attractive to have an inherent. First we did a brainstorming session all together, and then everyone tried the Crazy 8 method on his own. The most interesting, most feasible one was the speed dating. So the next step was drawing the first visualization of our solution, the storyboard. On the first picture, you see the landlord and the student. Over different media channels, they found out about our event and finally sign up. They answer some questions on which basis we can do a pre-selection for a proper inherent. At the event, the landlords and the students meet each other in a speed dating fashion. And finally, we give help defining the contract. The last step of this iteration was the testing of our prototype. To get feedback about the feasibility of our idea, we decided to do a role play of the speed dating event. Different people took the role of the landlord offering a room and the student searching for one. We found out that it is important to make the process as simple as possible to attract landlords by focusing on our solution strength, the interpersonal meeting of landlords and students. Therefore, we skipped the idea of the pre-selection in our final solution.